Wins TV. We are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors you can already see on the screen. If you are going to do a bit of business in 2024, then please keep it in the Mill family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your Thursday Club video. We're looking back at Tuesday's 1-1 draw on the road at Ewood Park and ahead to yet another massive 6-pointer, this time in SE16 on Saturday, and Birmingham City are the visitors. As always, let's wind it back to Tuesday and start out with a starting 11, the Neil Harris pit, to start the match. And two changes were made by the gaffer from the team that beat Watford 1-0 at the Den last Saturday. Ryan Longman come back in for Duncan Watmore as expected to make us a little bit more defensive, a little bit more rigid and compact. And up front, I thought it was up front, out come Michael Obafemi and in come Idemo Amaku, and I was absolutely buzzing for Amaku. Obafemi, to that point, not yet firing prior to kickoff. And I thought Amaku's now fit under the new manager. He's going to come in. He's going to get his first start up front since he played up front the one time before, away at Preston. But it didn't happen. It was a 4-4-2, yes. But it was actually, well, this was the team. It was Sarkic in goal, Danny McNamara left back, Ryan Leonard right back, Tanganga and Cooper, the two centre defenders, Saville and Mitchell in the centre of midfield. And it was Amaku on the right, George Honeyman on the left, and through the middle, it was Ryan Longman and Zian Fleming. That did change at some point in the first half, and Amaku went back up front for the first time, where he definitely should have, in my opinion, started the game. I said this in my full time the other night, but I'll say it again. I remember at QPR away when Kevin Nisbet wasn't playing very well. Not just Kevin Nisbet. Fleming was having a shocker. Watmore was having a shocker. And Joe Edwards actually took off Nisbet and put Longman on up front. And I said to my mates at the time, what does that say for his future under the manager when he's put a right wing back up front? I don't know what Longman's telling managers when he's signing for clubs, but obviously more than one manager thinks he can play up front. So something must be behind that. But for me, it was absolutely the wrong choice. However, I do feel that Neil Harris executed the game plan very well. And I feel that he fooled me. He may have fooled some of you because he didn't start Obafemi, but it was a little bit of a little touch of genius, really. I know he didn't win the game, but to bring Obafemi on, Harris has probably thought, right, look, he's not quite fit. We're playing him in the first half. It's a bit of a waste of time. So what we'll do is we'll let them play, see if we can contain, and then we'll throw him on at half-time and try and get the best out of him and win the game. And he scores a goal 8 minutes after he come on. But look, I'm getting well ahead of myself. The game reminded me of the Southampton game in terms of we didn't press high, and we always usually press high and very aggressively. With Neil Harris at the helm, we know that from down the years. But we didn't do that against Southampton. We sort of sat back, didn't massively press them, stayed compact, stayed in our shape and said, okay, well, there's the ball. Try and break us down if you can. And Blackburn couldn't. They looked very tired. They looked a shadow of the side that pushed Newcastle very close in the FA Cup the previous Tuesday. And again, I think it was really good tactics from Harris. Look, it isn't the greatest performance in the world, but 7 points from 9 games for a team that had previously lost 6 out of their last 7. You absolutely cannot ask for more than that. And we got a very winnable one this Saturday, which I'll get onto shortly and give you the reasons why it's even more important than the previous 3 that Harris has had under his belt now. But yeah, Blackburn, they had plenty of the ball. They looked tired. Their passing looked lackadaisical. Where does that come from? Anyway, look, they come forward. I mean, one chance in the first half was where Smodic went down the right and he fires it back across goal. It's sort of a cross shot. He's trying to find an area, or is he trying to find a target? I don't know. But Sarkic handles it well. Sarkic is improving now, and I'm very pleased to say that. I don't want to be on goalkeeper's bollocks, but Sarkic, I'm growing in confidence with him. He'll probably drop a clanger now, I say, but I'm growing in confidence with Sarkic. However, he is just doing what I expect him to do as his job on someone who's on around £10,000 to £15,000 a week as a professional footballer. He's a goalkeeper that gives your back line a bit of confidence, saves the ball, commands his area. And I feel he's really done that now in the last 2 or 3 games. So fair play to him. Long may it continue. Let's hope he proves me wrong and goes on to, doing what he did at Southampton and getting us points single-handedly. because he absolutely did do that at Southampton. But yeah, Sarkic, praise for him, but that's all he had to do really in the first half. Okay, we was very poor in possession. We kept giving the ball away whenever we got it. It wasn't sticking when it went up front. I thought Saville, as great as he's been for us, was particularly bad. And that surprised me that Harris didn't drop him out the side. I think the only chance we had in the first half was from a corner, and it was refreshing. They keep saying this on every show, every highlights. Millwall are the top scorers, and one of the top scorers from set pieces in the Championship. I don't know how anymore, because I can't remember the last goal that Jake Cooper scored, and we used to rely massively on Coops. We've been sussed out. Usually, Honeyman will go across. He'll put two hands up, or Saville. They'll float one to sort of the back end of the penalty area, sort of in line with the penalty spot, and you'll get the big boys arriving trying to get something under it. And we changed that, and that was the only chance we created in the first half. It was refreshing to see. Whips into the front post. Cooper, instead of hanging where I sit in that area, makes the run for the front post, gets a good flick on it, and it was straight off the training ground. Just didn't quite come off. Was Ian Fleming at the far post, hits the outside of the post, and that was pretty much it for half-time. Half-time, and Maku goes off. I don't feel he was fit. I think Neil Harris might say to him, can you do me a job for 45 minutes? And as I said, second half, it wasn't much better. There was no quality in the game at all from either side. Nervy, tetchy, sort of coming towards the end of the season, feel both sides don't really want to make mistakes, although both sides did for either side's goal. It's to be expected, but we took the lead. Michael Obafemi gets his first goal. Ryan Longman does well. I think there's a little bit of Saville turns him over. Ryan Longman gets it, puts it back to Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell puts a really good ball into Michael Obafemi, who's sort of edge of the box, but loitering towards the back post, collects the ball. His first touch is good, but he doesn't really react to his first touch. He sort of touches it and then doesn't react. He runs away from him, and he's sort of tackled. He half wins it back. He tries to knock it back to someone on the edge of the box. It's a Blackburn player, comes back to him again, and then he does what he has done well for us so far since he's been at the club is he sort of tries to turn quick and shoot in the box. He actually takes on a player, or maybe even two, shoots a goal, hit the target. He can't do any more than that. I've just watched it back again on the highlights. And if Sarkic lets that in, I'm doing my absolute bollocks. He's straight at the goalkeeper, and all the goalkeeper's got to do is stand there and catch it. For some reason, he maybe was anticipating to dive. He sinks to one knee and just puts his hand up, and it goes in. It just would have hit him in the chest. But look, we don't care. We've got the lead. Michael Obafemi gets off the mark in front of those brilliant travelling away fans, and we're 1-0 up. So the Neil Harris game plan, okay, it would have been boring, but it would have been 3 wins out of 3. Obafemi comes on. Harris used him in the right way, and it would have been a 1-0 win. Perfect. Okay, now just don't fuck it up. Just stay compact, stay strong, no silly individual errors, which we saw a lot under Joe Edwards at the back. And again, it happens. It's a catalogue of errors, an absolute catalogue of errors. Saville gives it away straight away. They knock the ball through. Tanganga dives in when he shouldn't really, but he does. He commits, tries to win the ball. Don't blame him so much. But then it goes through and it's given away. And then Ryan Leonard picks it up. Ryan Leonard now gets the ball and gives it to Danny McNamara. Now, both of those players know and can see from the way they're facing that Tanganga is on the floor and looks badly injured. He actually turns out he wasn't, but he's down on the floor. He's still down. So in this instance now, as an experienced professional footballer, and we've just got the lead in a relegation 6-pointer away from home, for me now, all I'm doing is he's injured. Either out of play or clip the channel. But Leonard plays it inside to McNamara. McNamara controls it. He's playing out of position at left back, looks inside, tries to play it central to Cooper, drops him well short. Sigerson picks up the ball, and of course, Tanganga's on the floor. So there's a great big fucking gap for him to slot the ball to Sammy Smolich, who doesn't fucking miss, unfortunately. 20th goal of the season for that little rascal. And it's 1-1. Just really bad decision-making, inexperienced footballers. They looked like, by conceding the goal, that they did, but Blackburn get level. And then after that, the game just sort of petered out again, didn't it? They had one sort of shot from distance where maybe it was going wide, maybe it wasn't, but Sarkic deals with it. But look, make absolutely no mistake. That is a very, very good point on the road. That is 7 points from a possible 9 against Blackburn, Watford and Southampton. 3 big clubs in this division. All right, Blackburn not doing so well at the minute. Maybe Watford wasn't either up until that point in recent weeks. But you can only beat what's put in front of you. And under Joe Edwards, as much as I liked Edwards and enjoyed the way he played football, we was on a hiding to nothing. I can't see us getting 1 point from those 3. So brilliant point. Once again, performances at this stage of the season do not matter. It's absolutely about results. And we move on to Saturday's game at the Den against Birmingham. Managed by Tony Mowbray. Now, stick with me on this one because it is a little bit like East Enders. Of course, John Eustace was their manager at the start of the season. He's now in charge of the team we played on Tuesday, Blackburn. He done quite well. The fans really liked him. However, they sacked him in favour of bringing in Wayne Rooney after their American owner, when he got a little bit of investment from Tom Brady, the NFL star. They decided to go with a bigger name. I don't think Rooney lasted 13, 12 games, and there was a little bit of bad feeling when he left the club. He said he was waiting for a window. The players he had weren't good enough. His son got involved on social media. How is his son? I don't know, by the way. Has that snuck up on us? Anyway, it did happen. And then after they got rid of Wayne Rooney, they brought in Tony Mowbray, old school, experienced, hard as nails, knows how this division works, has done very well at Blackburn, and of course got the job because he'd recently been sacked by Sunderland, even though they was knocking around at the right end of the table, and he gave them a quick upturn in fortunes. They got a few good results on the ball, but however, and I'm very sad to say this, and I do wish him all the best in his recovery, not that he probably watches Lions TV, what he might do now, he's got plenty of time on his hands. Tony Mowbray was taken ill for an undisclosed illness. It's not been said what it is. I think it can only be really one thing, but I don't want to speculate. Best wishes to him. He is now had surgery and is recovering well. So Mark Venus, the ex-Birmingham player, was he a left back, Mark Venus? Good left foot. I might have that wrong. I'm sure he's a left back. Anyway, Mark Venus is now in charge of the Blues in Mowbray's absence. It's a real bit of bad luck for them, of course. And as I said, well wishes go out to Tony Mowbray. But Birmingham aren't doing the best at all. Really well. Look, I'll say that. They have won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1 of their previous 5 league games. However, they are without a win in their last 3. Their last 2 games have been particularly difficult. They got a good point on the road against Hull City on Tuesday. Previous to that, they lost 4-3 to Southampton at St Andrews on Saturday. Watch that highlights of that game. It's absolutely brilliant. Goals, send-ins off, post, crossbar. It had absolutely everything. But unfortunately for them, they did lose the game, which currently sees them sitting 20th in the table, 1 point and 2 places behind us. However, they do have a game in hand. A win for us, and this is what I was saying earlier in the show, will be massive. It will be bigger than Watford. It will be bigger than Southampton. It will be better than the point we got against Blackburn, because it's the first time, other than Blackburn, that we've got someone right next to us, and it's at home, and it is so tight there at the bottom of the table. As you can see, that win will give us a 4-point gap on Birmingham, and that will be huge at this point of the season. We really need to do it. I hope we feel it then. Let's move on to a prediction. And so, this is your pre-match prediction. And here we go. I really need to listen to my own predictions, because if you've seen our social media or you watched our Blackburn preview, I said Blackburn 1, Millwall 1, Smodic to equalise once Michael Obafemi had scored for Millwall. I dread to think what that would have given me at the bookies, but I didn't back it. And I don't know why I didn't back it, because I'm in there, and my mates around, my boys around, and they're going, we're going to win in the head. And I put us on to win. Got excited, had a glass of red, and then I probably should have stuck with a draw. But look, we didn't win the game. We drew against Blackburn. My prediction was absolutely spot on. So let's hope that this one comes true as well, because I'm going for a 2-1 Millwall win. I'm going for Michael Obafemi, and I am going for George Honeyman for a little bit of a different one. In a 2-1 win at the Den, we'll be rocking all over the well, and 4 points clear of Birmingham. And so that's your lot for this preview show. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you think you know what the score is going to be, don't be shy to have a stab at that in the comments below. And all that's left for me to say is, if you can't make the Den on Saturday, I will be live streaming from around the 2:40 mark. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.